Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida has embarked on a country-hopping tour of G7 member states. His first stop, France, followed by Italy and then the UK. Mr. Kishida is on a mission to gather defence commitments in the run-up to the Group of Seven summit in Japan in May. Security issues are high on the agenda for discussions between the Japanese leader and French President Emmanuel Macron. Mr. Kishida is expected to share concern over China's growing activity in the South Pacific and confirm ramping up joint military exercises with France. Tokyo revised its national security strategy last month, aiming to counter Beijing's growing military power and North Korea's nuclear ambitions. Japan also vying to increase defence spending to an unprecedented 2% of GDP by 2027. Let's get more now. Sarah Coates joins us live from Paris. Sarah, as we heard, France is stop number one. What can we expect from Prime Minister Kishida's meeting with President Macron?
Yes, hello there, Jill. Well, as you mentioned, he is right here now in Paris. His plane touching down just a matter of hours ago. Now, first on the agenda will be a little later on a visit with Emmanuel Macron to the Notre Dame Cathedral, to the rebuilding site of the Notre Dame Cathedral, which, of course, was extensively damaged by fire back in 2019. Now, the Elysee has come out to say that this will be really going to show how a country can rebuild in the face of adversity. And it's important to mention that the Japanese Prime Minister will be the first foreign dignitary to actually visit this site since reconstruction has been underway. Now, shortly after that, the pair will hold a working dinner at the Elysee Palace. A number of items there on the agenda, such as energy, defence, climate change, and, of course, Russia's war on Ukraine, which is nearly now into its first year, this anniversary coming up in February. Now, of course, also on the agenda there, the Indo-Pacific region, which, of course, France has a lot of stake in. Now, shortly after this working dinner there, the pair will hold a press conference. So we'll certainly be more privy to what goes on at that working dinner shortly after that, Jill.
Now, following that tour, Mr. Kishida will wrap up his visit to Washington on Friday, keen to reinforce strong US-Japan relations. What do you think will be on the table when he meets President Joe Biden?
Well, sure. This is his first meeting, actually, with Joe Biden since he has taken office there in 2021. It really will be centred around economic and security consultations. Now, ahead of him leaving from Japan, the Prime Minister came out to say he is really looking forward to deepening his alliance with the United States. Now, all of this, of course, on the back of this announcement in December of this massive spending package, the biggest military build-up that's been seen really since World War II, with Japan almost doubling its military spending. Around 2% of its GDP will be allocated there to security and defence. Now, on the table will, of course, be regional and global issues, of course, including maintaining stability there on the Taiwan Strait. You know, with the pair looking forward to discussing really how they would cooperate if anything were to threaten that peace there. Of course, also North Korea's ballistic missile testing. And this is, as you mentioned, Jill, you know, really a trip with these G7 allies to sort of shore up cooperation, shore up their stance on things ahead of this G7 summit, which is set to happen in Hiroshima in May this year.
All right, Sarah Coates in Paris with the latest on Mr. Kishida's G7 tour, hoping to pave a smooth start to that meeting in Japan.